Okay, I think we are live. Bummer, we're still kind of like in lockdown. Hopefully this crazy plague will pass us over. I feel like, if you ever watched Moses, and the plague passes over, and hopefully it's going to pass over us. Okay, so real quick, you guys. First thing I want to do is, again, show you your homework. Okay, so if you're not doing your homework, here we go. This is what I got from kids in second period. And here's what I got from kids in fourth period. If you're not doing your homework, you're not going to pass the class. You better tell your friends that. If they don't pass the class, you're going to have to take the class over again. You got to do something. So the good news is that if you are doing your work, it's pretty easy because you just do it, show your work, and boom, you're there. So do your work. All right, so today, let's talk 3/25/2020. And I want to do a couple of things. First of all, answers from yesterday, and again, you need to show your work. So here's what I have. I got 8 and 2. Number 3, I got 1 and negative 2/3. 5, I got 2.5 and negative 0.8. If you're using Photomath, that's going to be great to get the answers, but it's not going to show the work. So please start showing the work, otherwise I can't give you credit. Number 7, x turns out to be 17, and so you get 17 by 17, so you get 289 feet. Number 9, there's only one answer, which is negative 3. Number 11, there's 2 answers, which is 3 and negative 1. Number 13, there's no answers, no solutions. And then 15, I factored it, and so I got a 7 and a 1. Okay, that's what we want to talk about today specifically, is how do you know when to use one or the other. So I'm going to go through about 4 examples, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a couple little tricks. Okay, so let's start off with example 1. Okay, example 1, I have an x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. We want to solve for x. I know there's 2 answers. And so here's the thing. If it factors, that's the easiest way to do it. So just factor it. So I'm going to go ahead and factor. I'm going to go, I know x and x. I know multiples of 8 are negative 4, positive 2. Okay. I have my mini equations. X minus 4 equals 0. And x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, so I'm just going to factor it. I don't need the quadratic formula. If it'll factor, do it the easy way. Plus 4, one answer is 4 minus 2, x equals negative 2. Okay, that's it. If it factors, easy. Okay? All right, let's take a look at example 2. Another easy problem. I have x squared equals 36. Okay? So, in this example, why not just square root it? The opposite of square is to square root, so I'll square root this, cancel the square root, square root, cancel the square root this. I know there are 2 answers, so I'm going to get x equals positive 6 and negative 6, because negative 6 times negative 6 is also positive 36, so plus or minus 6. I get 2 answers. Okay? Again, if there's an easy way to do it, just do it that way, but not Photomath, because that's not going to get you credit. Okay? And you're not going to learn it, and when you get into higher math, or when you're back in school and I won't let you use your phone, then you can't do it. See now, example 3, I have x minus 4 20 squared equals 25. Okay, very similar to the problem I just did. So I'm going to get rid of the square by taking the square root. So square root both sides, square root. Cancel the square. We'll square root this. Again, I know there's 2 answers. So I'm going to have a x minus 4 equals, well, the square root of 25 is 5, but it's also negative 5. So I'm going to go plus or minus 5. I'm going to go plus 4, so x minus 4 equals 5. Mini equations, and x minus 4 equals negative 5. Hopefully this is easy for you because we've done this Solve for x, we'll go plus 4, plus 4. One answer is a positive 9. Plus 4, plus 4. The other answer is a negative 1. Hopefully these are getting easy, okay? Again, no problem, okay? Now, let's look at example 4. Example 4. Okay, in example 4, I have a 3x squared plus a 6x plus 9 equals 0. Okay. Well, let's see if it'll factor first. Gosh, it looks to me like it has a common multiple of 3. So I'm going to take out my 3 first to make it easier. So, x squared plus 2x plus 3 equals 0. Okay? Now, will it factor again? Well, bummer. It won't, because the multiples of 3 are 3 and 1, and that won't work, okay? So, if it doesn't factor, we're going to need to use the quadratic formula. So, it has to be. There's no other way to do it unless you're cheating, but I want you to do the quad formula. When you get to Mr. Massey's class, which a lot of you will not be allowed to use a calculator, so you have to use the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus big square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? The 3 we don't need anymore, because if we divide by 3, 3 is gone. So in this case, a is 1, b is 2, and c is 3. Okay, real quick, just to let you know, you could also use the 3, 6, and 9. You get the same answer. You can, but it's just a bigger problem. So let's just make it easier by dividing out the 3. Okay, so here we go. Negative b. Again, negative 2 plus or minus big square root of b squared, which is a 2 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 3, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. Okay? So let's go. Negative 2 plus or minus big square root of 4 minus 12 over 2. 4 times 1 times 3. I already know I'm going to have no solution, but I'll finish it up. I'll go negative 2 plus or minus the square root of a negative 8 over 2, because 4 minus 12. Now, you cannot take the square root of a negative number. We are skipping the section 4.6. We are not doing imaginary numbers. We're just going to say no solution. You'll do that in another class. We'll talk about that in Algebra 2. But if you go to square root of negative 8, unreal. So at this point, we're going to say no solution. Okay? Now it doesn't have an answer. If we were to graph it, you can see graphically that it is above the x-axis. Okay? Hopefully you guys are putting all this together. Okay, last example. Example 5. Okay? I have a 2x squared minus a 3x minus a 7 equals 0. Okay? Well, it won't factor. I get a 14 and a 1. I'll make a 3. I can get a 7 and a 2. It won't make a 5. It will not factor. So if it won't factor, we're going to have to use the quadratic formula again. Quad formula. Okay, this is the last one. Quad formula, I realize, is kind of a pain, but it always works. Okay, so it is negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, a is 2, b is negative 3, c is negative 7. Okay, let's check it out. So let's plug it in. So b is a negative, so I'm going to have a negative, negative 3, double negative. Put the negative 3, negative b, negative negative 3, plus or minus, because there's two answers, big square root of b squared, or negative 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is a negative 7, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. Okay, so kind of a mess, but I think I'm going to get some answers. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and keep working on this. Double negative, negative 3 makes positive 3, plus or minus, big square root. 3 squared, negative times negative is a positive. Negative 4 times 2 times 7 is 8 times 7 is 56, but it's a positive 56 because the negative and the negative, double negative, all over 4. Okay. All right, I can do this. So then, 3 plus or minus the square root of, let's see, that's going to be a 65 over 4. Alright, so now I'm going to need my calculator, because I don't know what the square root of 65 is, but I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to go square root 65. I can answer about 8.1. We're going to round it up to 8.1, okay? So square root of 65 is approximately 8.1. Okay, we're going to round up. So we're going to have 3 plus or minus 8.1 all over 4. I know there's 2 answers. I'm going to have 3 plus 8.1 over 4 is 1 answer, and I'll have a 3 subtract 8.1 over 4. That's an 11.1 over 4. I get 1 answer is about 2.8 if I round. It's actually 2. Yeah, you guys see 2.775. How about I'll just write 2.775. What the heck? Let's just be accurate. What the heck? 3 subtract 8.1 is about a negative 5.1 divided by 4. I get about a negative 1.275. Negative 1.275. Okay, there we go. So, real quick, before I finish up, I'm going to go ahead and go through this sort of problems with you also. And that is, if there is an easy way to solve it, do it. If you can factor it, do it. If you can solve it easily, do it. If you can solve it easily, just do it, okay? If there is no way to do it, you're going to have to use the quadratic formula. If you get a negative square root, no solution. If you, again, cannot factor it, there's no other way to do it. Without photomath, you're going to have to use the quadratic formula to get the answer, okay? Now, let's take a look at your homework, okay? So the homework, we're skipping 4, 6. We're not going to do imaginary numbers. We'll do that in Algebra 2. It's not on the state test, so we just won't talk about it until Algebra 2, okay? We're skipping 4, 6. You don't need to do 4, 6. But we're going to skip all the way to 4, 7, okay? So in 4, 7, again, solve the equation by using the quadratic formula, but if there's an easy way to do it, factor, whatever, do it, okay? So they want you to complete the square, but again, if there's an easy way to do it, just solve it, okay? If not, you're going to have to go ahead and use the quadratic formula, okay? And then number 8, baseball player hits foul ball straight up in the air from a height of 4 feet off the ground, initial velocity of 85 feet. So here's our equation. H equals, now gravity is always negative 16 t squared. Your initial velocity, v0t plus h0. Our initial velocity is how hard you hit the ball. That's 85. That goes there. Starting height of 4. Okay, so h is equal to negative 16 t squared plus initial velocity is how hard you hit it. 85 t plus your starting height of 4. Okay, there you go. So there's your quadratic. There's A. So when is the ball 110 feet off the ground? Set it equal to 110. And I'll let you solve it. It may take the quadratic formula, bring over the 110. See if the catcher catches the ball 6 feet off the ground, how long is the ball in the air? Same thing, set it equal to 6 and solve. You're probably going to need a quadratic formula to do this one also. Oop, that's an 85, my bad. Plus 85t t plus 4, okay? Okay, number 9, they give you the equation, which is kind of nice. So here's your golfer. Now if they want the maximum height, that's your negative b over 2a. Different formula, okay? Because the golf ball is hit, it's going to go like this. You're looking for the vertex. B, when it's hit the ground, set it equal to 0. And you're probably going to need the quadratic formula to solve this, okay? Okay, good luck. I know you can do this. You guys have done harder problems in other classes, like your science classes. I know you can do this, okay? So get her done.